Okay, I'm making this video because I'm so disappointed in the audio solutions that I'm getting with the action cameras. I sent back the GoPro Hero 8 and the Media Mod because the Media Mod would not connect to the external microphone with any kind of consistency or reliability. And I recorded an entire day of touring through the Grand Canyon and got completely, well, the camera was on the outside of the car, the microphone was on the inside of the car. Got zero sound of my conversation with my children. So I sent it back, that was the last straw, and got this Osmo Action, which is a really cool camera. I like it a lot more. It's smaller, although it does have the case, whereas the Hero 8 has the little feet that come out the bottom, but a lot of people don't seem to like that because if it breaks off, then you're kind of screwed. This case is like $12 to replace. At any rate, so there's no Media Mod. There's one option for getting an external microphone, and that is this here, CYNOVA Osmo Action Dual 3.5 millimeter USB-C adapter. It's really cool. It's tiny. It pops right into the side. You just take off the little door here, pop it off, and stick that on in there. I just packaged it up to return it, so I'm not going to play it again. There's plenty of other videos. I'm showing you my results of that. I'll have the horrible sound, a little snippet of that, but then my ultimate solution, which is just a horrible solution that I have to do it considering this exists and it just doesn't work. Basically, the recording levels are so high it's just completely garbled in the camera. So if they changed the firmware or and made it work, or provided recording levels that you could manually set and set them really low, it would work. But on my motorcycle helmet, which I now have, the microphone is embedded. It's like deep inside the underneath the cheek pad and snap back into place. So it's got like a windscreen that is like 3 inches thick, and it actually sounds just fine when recording through my iPhone, which I have in a little stand right here. So now, in order to do this, I have the iPhone plugged into the dongle, and now I just bought this new thing which allows you to plug in the headphone as well as power. So now I have this sticking off, and then I have my cord coming out of the back of my headphone, running down my chest and plugging into this thing. So this is the contraption I have to record, instead of just having the cord go nice and succinctly out the front and into the camera. All one piece attached to the helmet. The sound is much better, but I shouldn't have to do that. This little piece that I paid $25 for, but I think they're like $49 or $39, something like that, on the website. Maybe I got a bad one, I don't know, but there's plenty of people complaining. The people that do like it are not using it on a motorcycle helmet. They're using it at this volume, and at this volume it sounds great. But you know, it's an action cam. It's not a talking quietly to the camera cam, so it's worthless. The other option, if I don't want to use my phone and have all these things, is to plug it into, you know, something like the Zoom H4n Pro, but this thing's huge. I don't want to have this thing in my pocket. And now I'm looking at the alternatives, the H2n, but it's not much smaller. The Tascam version, the Tascam DR05X, is a little bit slimmer than this, but not much. So I'm going to be able to get good sound, but it sucks that this is my solution. iPhone dongle hell. Plugged into this because DJI outsourced the adapter to CYNOVA, a Chinese company, which I have no issue with, except their website isn't encrypted. It's not HTTPS, so the website doesn't even actually work, and it's all in Chinese. I sent a customer service request to DJI. They completely punted it and told me to send an email to CYNOVA. So I sent it to them. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get any kind of resolution going through them. So I'm going to send it back through Amazon and get my money back. But I did the same thing with the GoPro Hero. I've never bought a camera or serious electronic and used it for 2 months and then sent it back. But I returned it to Costco because I could. And I sold the media mod on eBay. It sold in 2 days. Hopefully the guy doesn't, stick me with a PayPal charge, but it's not me that broke it. The thing doesn't work. The media mod that he gets from me is exactly the same one that I bought at Best Buy, and just doesn't work because GoPro didn't bother making it actually work. They didn't test it. There's not been a firmware update. But I like the DJI Osmo Action as a camera and a user experience a lot more than I do the GoPro. The GoPro was a huge letdown for me, from the screen interface to the file naming format convention. The file naming convention is just so horrible. The thing, not only will that, but when you have it set to your time zone, it doesn't set it to your time zone. The files show up on your computer set to UTC, which is Greenwich Mean Time. So your files don't show up where they would, sorting by time. So now I have this. I like the video. This thing looks much better at higher ISOs as well. If you see one of the tests of what this looks like at 1600 ISO versus the GoPro at 1600, it's night and day. You would not want to use the GoPro Hero 8. So please subscribe. Please subscribe to my videos if you like them. Subscribe even if you don't. What's another video coming through your feed? So you can see the results now that I have the iPhone. The sound is a lot better, but it's a huge pain in the ass. It's not just like throw on your helmet and go, hit play, go, or hit record and go. Now it's like plug in a bunch of dongles and cords, and hopefully they'll fix it. I'll buy this if I see enough people say that it's fixed, that the firmware came out and they fixed it. I'll buy this again because it's so much easier. It's a cool little adapter, but it's unusable right now for motorcycle vloggers. All right, thank you for letting me rant, and enjoy the ride through Redondo Beach to Phil's Coffee on my Svartpilen 401, the best motorcycle I could have ever bought. Such a cool bike. All right. Thank you. Please subscribe. And I'm talking pretty normally now because it turned out shouting completely overrode the recording levels. Now I'm going to close it. Alright, so closed visor, microphone, talking normally, I cannot shout. Okay, this is yet another test. This time the recording level set at 20 on my iPhone using the, I believe it's called Motive app. Dun dun dun. The Husqvarna Svartpilen 401. Best new bike on the market in 60 years. I think that's when the last Husky motorcycle street bike was made, in the 60s. Okay, so now my microphone, now my helmet has its ultimate test. My helmet is closed completely. The microphone is lodged in the cheek pad. This is about as much isolation as I'm likely to ever get. Still feel a lot of wind in here. I think it's going to be noisier than with the mask on. I'll try it with both ways, because last time I only tested one way and it wasn't a very good test. I like to drive around with the mask up most of the time anyway, so this is probably the best test. And then close it for the highways. Anywhere around town I have it up, so that is how I need to test it. Get the level set correctly for having the mask up. Okay, so now the windshield is just kind of loosely closed with wind coming through. Which, if I have it closed, is the way I have it closed 90% of the time, but might have to make some modifications for the sake of my art. But squeezing between this traffic should speed my commute up a little bit. I would like a Harley, but I want a, well, what I've wanted my whole motorcycling career is a fat boy. I like that low, slung back softail. Here's me talking now. Here it is with the mask closed. Definitely a lot bassier and boomier with the mask closed. But is there more wind isolation? I'm not entirely sure there is. Okay, there we go. City of El Segundo over there. City of Manhattan Beach here. Hawthorne there. And this, I might be in Redondo Beach right now. So it really is the four corners here at Rosecrans and Aviation. Rosecrans and Aviation. This is a test. It's pretty noisy in here. But I think I'm talking louder than the noise, and that's kind of the most important thing, isn't it? As long as I am louder relative to the microphone. There's the Motor Trend magazine group. Oh, I missed my turn. God bless America. Here's a Shake Shack. I have not eaten at this Shake Shack. I always forget it's here. Alright, and here we are. And it's a little muddy. I washed the bike somewhat last weekend, but not thoroughly. I had access to a hose, so I used a hose. Okay. Phil's Coffee, Randy's Donuts, Shake Shack, and the Husqvarna Svartpilen 401.